Malaysia's Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has admitted recent elections in Sabah have contributed to a second wave of COVID-19 infections. Nearly 700 new cases have been confirmed, a new daily record. But Mr. Muhyiddin says the country is now better prepared to handle the outbreak.
Speaking from his home while under quarantine, Malaysia's Prime Minister admitted that safe distancing rules were not always followed in the lead-up to the Sabah election last month, and that has contributed to a spike in cases. Mr. Muhyiddin has also blamed illegal immigrants and a spike in cases in prisons for the country's widening COVID-19 outbreak. But he warned that Malaysia cannot afford to go into lockdown again because of the costs to the economy.
We need to break the transmission of the virus, and the best way is to stay at home, especially in areas where targeted control movement order is enforced. We must flatten the curve. We did it before, and I firmly believe we can do it again.
The Prime Minister is under a 2-week quarantine after coming into contact with the Religious Affairs Minister, who has tested positive for COVID-19. He says he'll keep working from home and the operations of his government won't be affected.
Mel Segura joins us now from Kuala Lumpur. Mel, the Prime Minister sounds very confident that they can beat this second wave.
Well, the Prime Minister in the national address. Well, the Prime Minister in the national address basically told the people not to panic, even though cases, he said, is going to go up in the coming days. And that's because the country is now better equipped and more experienced to handle the pandemic. Now, more importantly, there are enough beds in the hospital, enough beds in the intensive care units, enough ventilators. Utilization is only at 30%. Now, earlier, the Health Director General, Dr. Noor Hisham, speaking at a virtual news briefing from his home, said that he has sent reinforcement on the ground to the worst hit states like Kedah and Sabah. He also stressed that it will take at least 2 to 3 weeks before cases peaked. Now, it's a sad day in Malaysia now of almost 700 cases, another record-breaking day. 4 deaths were added, including a 1-year-old baby who died in Sampurna, Sabah. But this is not the time to apportion blame, to actually point fingers. He said, the Prime Minister said that the Sabah state election has to be held because under the Constitution, once the State Assembly is dissolved, a state election must be held within 60 days. It's bound by the Constitution. There's nothing that the authorities can do. But having said that, this is a time now to come together, unite, and try to bring down the cases, flatten the curve. They have done it before, and they believe that they can do it again. See, Glenda?
Mel, while there's no full lockdown, some areas have been declared red zones. So what are the special measures there?
Well, there's no total lockdown right now, only in the red zones. There is a targeted lockdown being implemented. Schools are closed and shops, only those in the essential services are allowed to open. Restaurants can continue to operate, but only for takeouts. There's absolutely no dine-ins right now. All shops must close by 8 p.m. Now, this is already implemented on the east coast of Sabah. Now, starting midnight, it will be implemented as well on the west coast in the state capital of Kota Kinabalu, and as well as neighboring Putatan and Penampang, they're densely populated, starting with these areas. And then, although they've been implemented in East Coast, there is also an interstate travel ban beginning October 12th to October 25th. No Sabahans can leave the state unless with a special permit, unless for emergency or they are involved in essential services, while no one can enter Sabah unless with a permit from the Chief Minister's office, unless they're Sabahans, or if they're non-Sabahans, they require a Chief Minister's permit. Now, apart from that, they are also tightening control on the East Coast, stepping up patrolling. The Navy, Marine Police, as well as the Coast Guard are now patrolling, arresting and detaining any illegal migrants they were blamed for causing the outbreak in east coast of Sabah. Now, having said that, the rights groups as well as the Bar Council are asking the government to exercise leniency because the issue is with overcrowded situation in the prison, in the lockups, has caused the breakout in Sabah. So try not to detain but release them on bail for those that are involved in less serious crime. This will help to ease the congestion at least. Glenda, Steve?
All right, thanks for that update. Melissa Goh speaking to us from Kuala Lumpur.